proudly Scottish, Gemma Russell.
It would have taken about 11 hours in the car, but what I did was I flew down this morning, I got a train, and then I was supposed to get on 3 tubes, but I got on 5, because I don't know what I'm doing and I got lost. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm very, very honoured to be here, and I just want to thank Forever and everybody else who's put me on the stage, so thank you so much. So I think the 3 reasons why I have been asked to stand here before you today is because I'm the Scottish representative. I don't know if you guys know this, I actually missed the start because I was getting lost on tubes, but I'm not really sure if you know that Scotland from 2014 to 2015, we grew over 200%. 200%! That is absolutely insane. So one, I think I'm a Scottish rep. The second thing is, I spoke in our November Success Day in Scotland because I had achieved the yellow suitcase, and Bob had asked me what I had done to do that. So I explained that I speak to absolutely everybody, pubs, clubs, strip clubs, and the place erupted. And I was like, that's just what I do. So I reckon because I'd mentioned the strippers, Bob then wanted me back in January so I could give him my contacts list. He wanted me to teach him a thing or two. And then as a result of that, I ended up being asked to be the MC in the January Scottish Success Day, which was just absolutely insane. And because of that, I also met Aidan O'Hare. And I had a trouser suit on similar to this one, but I didn't realise it had a clasp at the back of the neck, so therefore my boobs kept falling out. I asked the audience if they could participate and keep me out for boob watch. So if you want to hashtag Success Day and you're talking about me, just hashtag boob watch as well. That would be really cool. I'd love to be famous for that. So because my boobs were kind of like falling out all over the place, when Aidan hugged me afterwards, he said, I'm really glad that your boobs fell out. And I was like, no, you're not. You wanted to see them. I'm definitely 100% sure of that. So I think that's the second reason why I'm here, because Bob wants my contacts. And then the third reason I think that I'm here is because I've been in the business now for 16 months, and I'm hoping that my story, which I'm about to tell you, will show you that if I can do it, anybody can. Oh, look at this control I've got. So, this is my daughter, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my life prior to Forever, because I think this is quite an important thing for people who are just started, people who are going through a tough time, just anybody really who, well, when you hear it, you'll maybe understand. So, I had an amazing life until I was 8, and then my parents brought me up really well, and they did a really good job, and I was really well loved and stable and secure. And then, unfortunately, they decided to get divorced. So when that happened, things went crazy. I'm sure a lot of you in the audience can relate to parents getting divorced, no matter what age it is, it's difficult. But then we had crazy boyfriends and girlfriends introduced as well. There was a lot of violence, alcohol, emotional abuse, just a crazy period. I've got a brother, but then I had another brother and sister who came along as a result of that as well. So I had a bit of a crazy time. Then at the age of 19, my auntie died and left behind 2 teenage boys. So nobody was there to look after them apart from me, so I took them on. And I did this so that they didn't go in care. But as you can imagine, being a 19-year-old looking after, I think they were 13, 14 at the time, was pretty crazy. We had police at the door, they were always getting fights, trying to tell them how to, do their chores and stuff, and all I wanted to do was go and party as well was really difficult. So I was working 3 jobs, and it was just an absolutely insane time. And then they then moved on, and they did really well, and I then went offshore, as Adam was saying. I went to work offshore, and I was sometimes the only girl in amongst 200 men, which sometimes was quite good. Other times it wasn't so good when I started off as a stewardess and I had to clean the toilets and things like that. And then I thought, I can't do this job because I'm rubbish at it. So I decided to become a radio operator. So I did that. And then I met and fell in love with a guy who I really, really fell for. And I moved down to Liverpool with, and by the way, I love the Scousers. Is there any Scousers in the house? Woo! Just one. So yeah, I totally fell in love with this guy, and he turned out to be a total psycho. So he was emotionally and physically abusive, and after 2 years of putting up with that, I fled back home, which is in the north of Scotland. I was then placed into a women's refuge, and I was told it was a very dangerous time for me. At the time, I was just like, nah, I couldn't see it. I used to work in social work as well, and I couldn't understand why I had managed to get into this sort of relationship where I dealt with women like this. How did I let this happen? I couldn't understand it. So that was me, and then life was pretty good for a while. This is the hard part, so I do apologise. Thank you. Wow, I'm shaking all of a sudden. So in 2011, my mum and my best friend fell ill with bipolar. Get it together? It's okay. So she fell ill with bipolar, and what ended up happening was, after a year of a very, very difficult time, she hung herself. I know that's quite a thing to take in, and as you can probably imagine, anybody who's dealt with that type of death, it's the most confusing death to kind of experience. And it was a tough time. So, but you move on and you get on with things, and I still hold her very dearly in my heart, and she'll always be that person who I absolutely adore. And the following year, it wasn't all doom and gloom. There was lots of crazy stuff in between all of that. I mean, now that I know of law of attraction, I actually realised that, not that I've attracted it into my life, but I've always said I've always got drama in my life. There's always, not that I ever get affected by it, but there's always drama going on in my life. And now I realise I've got to stop saying that. I'm probably attracted to everything, crazy ass boyfriends and all the sorts. I know, I'll stop doing that. So, although there was a lot of crazy stuff in between, the same time that my mum fell ill, I met my partner Dave, and we fell in love. We worked offshore together, and then we fell in love, and I stopped working offshore. We bought a house, and we had an A. So this is my daughter. Is there any Oasis fans in the house? Come on, poor show, guys. What, Nicola? Woo! Oasis, you will understand why my daughter's called Danae, because we love Oasis and we love Noel Gallagher, and that's the name of Noel Gallagher's child. So we named her after that. And we were just, we fell in love, had a great time, and, life was really, really good. So I'm going to tell you how I got to senior manager. So in September, I joined, and I did my 2 case credits from joining. And at the time, it was the old cleanse, and it was 0.574. So I only made £5 that month, but I joined on the 26th of September, went on a hen do, got totally drunk. I got asked at my planning meeting on the following Tuesday, did you do your trainings? And I was like, what trainings? I must have been opening them when I was drunk. I didn't even realise. So it just goes to show, don't judge somebody from the first planning meeting either, because if it was me and that was somebody else, I'd be like, oh, useless. But that wasn't the case. So I had my planning meeting on the Tuesday. They said, you need to message 5 people every day, and that's exactly what I did. So I got to work, and I sponsored 3 people, hit supervisor, and then in November, it kind of like plateaued, and I was like, where's all this thousands of pounds that I was supposed to be making? So I didn't quite understand what was going on there, what I'd done wrong. And then in December, I can see her in the corner, lovely Emma Cooper. In December, I first heard of Emma Cooper from the video. It was about 1 hour and 15 minutes long, and Ange Loughlin was introducing her. And I remember watching her, and our babies are about 3 weeks apart. And she was explaining her story about how at 30 weeks pregnant, she decided to make this decision to go and, basically build an empire, and that's what happened, and she did an amazing job. Whereas when I was 30 weeks pregnant, I was stuffing my face with loads of cake. And I put on 4.5 stone. And as a result of putting on 4.5 stone, my clean 9 results were awesome. So you can imagine how I made so much money in the beginning. So when I watched her story and she mentioned Dave O'Connor and the compound effect, and I was like, that's what I'm going to do. And that's exactly what I did. So I did the 21-day course with Dave O'Connor, and as you can see, it rolled into January time, the course, and in January it absolutely boomed. And since then, it has been incredible. So obviously, kind of went through the marketing plan, got to manager in February, and then kind of like started hitting things, car plan level 1, and then we got my first manager, the Victoria Marshall, and which was an incredible feeling. I just want to point out as well is that in December 2014, when I was earning, well, at this point I just had like 100 quid, I said to my dad, I'm going to be earning £5,000 a month by the end of next year. And he was like, all right, this is just another Gemma phase. So when I hit May and earned 5,288, guess who's the first person I called? Hello, Dad! You better be nice to me because I'm thinking about your retirement fund, pal. He's not nice to me. And then, so it's just continued to be amazing since then, and then June we got the senior manager. So, I'm just gonna, this is the kind of point where I say that it was all rosy before, and then it kind of went a bit, I was gonna say something there, a bit messy. So at the end of May, as you can see there, May was when I got my first manager, I helped coach my first person to manager. My partner, Dave, turned around and decided that he didn't want to be with me anymore. Now for me, I loved this guy. We had a mortgage together, we had a baby together, I was in this for life. We're not married, but I was definitely in this for life. So that was like a bolt out of the blue. However, it was the week before adjustment day. So for me, there was absolutely no way that I was going to let my team know what was going on, because I knew that if I let them know that my mindset was affected, then they would feel it too. And I was heavily involved in their promotions, and I didn't want to let that ripple down. So I didn't tell them, and I just carried on. I love it how they all stand like up. What's that all about? Come up above me so I can get a good angle. So yeah, I didn't. Sorry, I just totally ruined that moment, haven't I? So yeah, I carried on working really, really hard, and as a result, they started hitting their promotions, which was great. Now, 6 weeks after he left me, I found out that he met somebody else, and they met before we split up. So you can imagine, just crazy. If anybody can relate to that in any way, you know the pain that causes you. I've been through a lot, but this was something else. And to be able to try and maintain your sanity while this is all going on, plus manage a team, it's insane. But I did not stop working. I kept working, probably for my sanity as well, but I made sure that I kept working. And then a week after, I discovered that he was with somebody else. I have told this story once before, but the reason that I can tell you it now, I've never told it like prior to this, is because I'm at a good place and so is the other person, so it's okay for me to say this. But a week after I found out about this woman, she was introduced on my team page, 5 generations deep. Yeah, I know, right? I was on the phone to somebody and I saw this. Please welcome. I've got to go. Put down the phone. Honestly, I know this sounds crazy, but I don't think I've actually cried like that since my mum died. That hyperventilating, just insane. And I'll tell you why, because I'm passionate about Forever. Oh my God, I better hurry up. I'm passionate about Forever, like extremely passionate about Forever, and I'm so involved with my team that I just, like most of us are, I congratulate them, I would do anything for them. So what I was mixed between was my personal life and encroaching in Forever, because how was I going to congratulate her? At that point, I felt like she'd taken my man, I felt like she'd had my life, and now she was joining my business? No. I should have done that. No. So I can laugh about it now, but it wasn't funny at the time. So that is basically what happened with us, and I will just tell you very, very quickly that things are okay now. It's taken me a long time to be able to say this, but I have moved on from it all, and I don't have a boyfriend. I know that the lady over there is looking for single. I'm like, yeah, that's me. I would quite like to get with a Forever guy if there's any single guys out there. You got to travel to Scotland though. Scrap that. Jokes. That was a joke. Yeah, so it's been really, really tough. However, I knew that in order for me to be able to move forward with my team, that I had to give her the olive branch. So I was the bigger person, and I got in touch with her and I said, join my BPs, join my sizzles, join my team. I'm happy to help you out, and I support her just as I support everybody else. It's not been easy. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's not been easy, but you really need to think about the greater good. And I always kind of like to visualize, and I know that kind of like I knew at some point in the future I was going to be okay. So I had to put myself in that position, be that person, be that person that you're kind of at that stage already, and that's where I got to. So that was my hardship all over. That's the sob story. Jenny McKyle is done. I know, it's like a Jenny McKyle story, isn't it? So, what do I have to be grateful for with Forever? Oh my God, everything. Absolutely everything. The people I've met, the girl there that we're taking a selfie, that's my second manager, Jane Gordon. And we've become best friends. I'm good friends with so many people in the team. I just love helping them out. We've got manager summits, so like different events that I've gone to have just been incredible, life-changing. You meet loads of other people. I was the girl in the blue dress doing press-ups over a bunch of bags after my 6 Jaeger bomb before the meal. You can take the girl out of Scotland. So all the events, South Africa, that's about to happen, obviously it's going to be amazing. And you might recognise that handsome chap in the middle of that photo there. It's the gorgeous Kyle Burrows. Turns out he's actually 7 days older than me. So we really clicked it off, and we did a training together, and one of my team said, he's just like your twin, but a male version. And I was like, I know, we're both a bit I think his team are probably laughing at me, like, yeah. And of course, my daughter. I mean, it's just the most amazing thing to be able to leave a job and spend all of your time with your child. I do put her to the childminder. I'm not going to lie. She's almost 2. I need a break. I'm a single parent. I need a break. No, in a serious matter, the reason I put her to the childminder is because I need to work. I manage a team of over 200 people. I need to put something in, and I haven't prepared to make little sacrifices here and there to be able to get to where I want to be. And she's a huge part of my why. So being able to spend all the time with her, but I will be there putting her off, dropping her at school, picking her up, doing all the activities, all the embarrassing things that you've got to do when you've got to like run and that, and oh God, I'm just dreading it. But I still will be there helping her out. And of course, I better really hurry up now. So what have I got to be grateful for? Absolutely everything. That was me in January 2015 when I hit assistant manager. That was the first time I ever met Bob. And at the end of this year, I entered on 2,248 case credits. How close was I to 2,500 for South Africa? Network professional level 3, 100 club level 2, and Carpon level 2. I did not get chairman's bonus. I was about 200 case credits away from chairman's bonus in a manager's leg, and I was 252 away from 2,500 for a global rally. Why did I not get them? It's not because I didn't work hard. It's because this wasn't in the right place, because I had so much going on. Plus, I didn't have it on my goal board. I was an assistant manager in January. Why would I ever think that I would achieve all those things? But you can do it. But you've got to have that vision. You've got to have the goals. You've listened to everybody here. You've got to absolutely go for it. So really important that you go for big goals. And of course, the last and final one, I'm going now, they're probably raging, it's like 3 minutes over. But at the end of this year, well, in January, I got to MC Scottish Success Day, which is just wild. And as I said, they were on boob watch, and I was worried something was going to come out. And that's me and Aidan laughing, because I'm pretty sure he was probably trying to feel my boobs. Jokes. Kidding, man, jeez, joking. And then, of course, myself and Turbo Team. My team are called Turbo Team, and we are now number 5 in Scotland. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I just want to say about Aidan, one of the most incredible people I've ever met. He actually, when I told my story, which I did briefly when I got the number 5 and had to do the speech, he pulled me aside at the end and he said some story that. He says, but can I just promise me something? And I said, yeah. And he said, never give up on love. And I was like, oh, and he says, I've been married for over 20 years, I've got 5 kids, and every day is more amazing. And I was like, oh, okay, Aidan, no problem. So I just love that guy, and he was so lovely. So basically what I've forever given me, everything. It's been a tough journey, but oh my God, was it worth it. So if anybody didn't understand what I just said, I'm sure that you could probably get subtitles on the replay. Anyway, thank you.